What's going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for the show you love talking about comic books and such, Comics Unmasked. We are back for episode 2. We a little bit in the late night because we had some scheduling errors, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. And it's going to be a great time. We're going to talk about powerful women. We're going to talk about video games, talk about Nazis. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. My name is Jay Penumbra. To my, actually above me, because we only have 4 people today. Above me, we have the woman operating out her car because she was on some party antics the night before. Um, Astro, how you
Guilty.
doing?
Guilty. I'm doing so good. I am chill. I'm caught up with Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm taking in all the art. I'm taking in everything. I've joined more like DC centric kind of Discord servers and stuff like that. So if I'm too lazy to get information, the wonderful, wonderful people who make lists will give me
Yes.
that information.
I gotta see if we can like promo on those because that would definitely like get more people eyes on this thing. We actually already have 22 followers on Spotify and over 50
Yes,
listens.
sir. Yes, sir.
So we are making
Hey, that's what's
traction.
up.
Yes. And make sure, folks, that you can rate this show 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. It helps people find us. Make sure you check us out on there. To my right, we have the man who was late to the show because he was playing Rivals.
Yeah,
Committed to the ranked grind.
I
B-Rax,
I
how you doing,
got into
bro?
the match. I saw the message on Discord and I was like, shoot, I just am like 15 seconds into this match. They are going to be so mad at me. I cannot believe this, but it was a dub, so it was worth
Yes.
it at the end. We at least got that dub and I
Oh,
ranked
worth
up.
it. Worth
So
it.
it's worth
Exactly.
Nobody's
it.
mad then. Nobody's
What
mad.
rank are you?
I
What
am
rank?
now silver 1, unfortunately. I
Hey,
haven't
he's
played
making
ranked in
traction.
forever.
He's making traction. The
Okay.
problem is though, until they like next season when they add placements, it's gonna keep being the worst grind possible for so many individuals. Like I just got back to gold
Oh
and I'm like
yeah.
struggling. When I was almost to diamond last season, it's a pain in the butt. So like
I
definitely
remember it
keep
was
that grind up.
season 1 was the only time I did ranked, and then as soon as I joined QP a couple times today, I just got stomped on, and I'm like, you know what? I could do bronze lobbies right now. They're
Exactly.
equal to where I'm at right now.
We'll definitely have to talk
Hey,
about rivals in the future.
last time when I played with you though, I solo healed as Mantis and we
Yes.
stomped, and that was crazy.
And now
I
Mantis
don't
got more
understand.
buffs, so now you're just even more
Yeah,
OP.
that's my girl.
Speaking of the man up top, the brother out here fighting the trolls in the land of far, far away, Choco, the Star Wars guru. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Always, like we said, always in the Star Wars trenches. Just fighting the good fight. But man, it's it's just such a great time to be a geek. Like
Yes,
there's just so much stuff everywhere. Like it's crazy.
most def. So first up is the book that has enraptured the whole squad. I even dug it up. I'm not even much of a Diana reader. I haven't read in a hot minute since like DC Rebirth, but y'all even got me in on this. And despite the constant struggle of Diana messing with white men, um, Kelly Thompson is destroying absolute Wonder Woman. I gotta say, now that the newest issue is out, like banger after banger, each issue. And what's so crazy is this is the first book since like Miles that I've read in a hot minute where I'm like churning through the pages. Like it is like nonstop, and it actually makes you feel engaged or excited about a new interpretation of a character. And like Absolute Batman kind of felt the same way, but like there's only so much I can stand just like jacked Bruce Wayne doing jacked Bruce Wayne shit. There's only so much I can deal with that. But no, like genuinely, I can't wait to talk to Kelly Thompson at some point because this run is phenomenal. The way she's taking this new spin on Diana and bringing her into this new element and being like, hey, what if she just like got left in hell? Like we're not even gonna put her with the Amazons. The Amazons on some other shit. We're gonna put her in hell with Cersei, and it's like, huh? And it's just it's very much a banger from the first couple pages. B-Rax, you are also the Wonder Woman virgin as it is. How you doing here?
I'm doing great. This is like the main Wonder Woman series that I have picked up, and it is amazing. Hands down, as soon as I jumped on issue number 7, and then I told my comic book shop, any pre-release or re-releases come out, order that for me. I need them right then, right there. As soon as 7 was done, I called them up and was like, I need everything on this. So that's how I started with it. And then I started picking up some of like the mainline Wonder Woman stuff, and I was immediately disappointed after like the first 3 pages. And that is like the sad part too, because I was like, all right, let's see how this is going.
I
One,
wonder
Yeah.
why. I wonder
what?
why. It's
Huh.
because of the biggest op of the podcast, Tom King. But like, that's
Mhm,
fine. It's fine.
mhm. And I just felt so bad because I got on the DC app and I was gonna be like, this is gonna be at least a decent read. Like I could flip through a couple pages. One swipe, two swipe, three swipe. All right, I'm done. I'm going back to Mr. Fantastic now. I'm done.
And it's crazy too, because like if you read things like Rucka's run is one of the most iconic Diana runs of all time, or Gale's run. You read these other runs that make you feel valued as a Wonder Woman reader, and then you pick up King and you're just like, huh? Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
like I thought, like when DC Rebirth came out, I thought them making Jason and the Argonauts like her long lost brother was weird. Nah, fam. King took it to the next level and made it even worse. And I'm like, what?
Yep. Oh, like my main thing for that one is just with like the King series. The thing that killed me is to where like she ended up killing the dude that was being, a little handsy with her in the bar and stuff like that, which I don't mind, I'm down with that. But in the aspect about it in my head for Diana, it's almost like an eye for an eye kind of thing. So if you're gonna, be a little bit handsy, I'm gonna let you live, but you're not gonna have that hand no more. Like that's kind of the thought in my head
Yeah.
there.
But say like Astro, I've been waiting to hear you cook on this all day. I'm gonna let Choco
Yo,
intermix, but I've
yo,
been waiting for you to cook on this all day.
yo.
Like you gotta pull up.
Oh my God. I'm laughing because it's so not fucking funny. So, I have my thesis up right now, and honestly, I love Absolute Wonder Woman. I love it so much. I think one of the most poignant moments for me was her transformation into Medusa. Um,
Mhm.
just because I love the Gorgons and I love the story of the Gorgons, so to see that kind of represented in, like, we don't really know what her story is. Like, there's so many interpretations and stuff like that, but like Cersei as a mother figure being like, well, I can tell you that there's a lot of pain associated with this, bottom line. And regarding what B-Rax was talking about, um, I have a thing in my thesis. Oh dear God. Yippee. Where I talk specifically in a section called Be Free, where I discuss kind of how King illustrates kind of bondage in a way, and how that was perceived in Marston's run. But so I wrote, the issue starts with Diana being a housewife, with the panel showing her in a 1950s styled red dress. You know exactly what I'm talking about, everybody. Everybody knows. She's cooking a meal with her husband, Steve Trevor, agreeing with everything he says. Inside, Diana's inner monologue knows that this is wrong and knows the amount of pain she is in outside her delusions. The panel cuts back to where Diana is bound to a steel beam by the lasso of lies. She is bound um, by this artifact that makes a person believe in whatever lie is being told. And I basically showcase how Diana fights back and all this stuff, but this tension is kind of immediately undercut with the hallucination of Steve Trevor. And it's one of those things that when you read Tom King, it's very weird. It can get very confusing because of these kind of long monologues, that you're kind of in a situation that you don't really understand. Um,
That's a great way to put it.
and
That's a great way to put it.
you just find yourself kind of lost, like genuinely lost in the sauce. Like to Steve being kind of this devil figure, I say the figment of Steve does not give her encouraging words to motivate her. Instead, his presence and devil advocate's advice are enough motivation to work out this isolation mentally. Diana navigates to find power within herself due to the evocation of a male figure who can stand against her and support her. The figure of Steve is what allows her sanity to stay intact. And I think when in comparison to this versus the absolute male wife that absolute Steve Trevor
The
is, at the end of the
absolute
day, I
male.
honestly love him. I love him. I like don't people I know, I get it. I understand the Trevor hate. Most of it is so valid, and I don't fight back anymore because you guys are correct. But I think it's true. But I think like what happens with the Tom King is that Steve Trevor is just ultimately projected on it in a way that William Marston never cared enough to do, honestly.
I I don't know if it's a Marston problem. I feel like it's the era of comics that they were in, because I feel like if Marston would have been someone who was around longer and been able to produce Wonder Woman more and like been able to see things through past the comics code, he would have seen and been able to guide Diana on a different path. But I feel
I
like
think
the issue
yes,
is that,
but
yeah,
it wouldn't be militaristic.
yes, yes, very much so.
It would not be
I agree.
militaristic, and
I
that's exactly
agree.
what's happening in King's Run.
Yeah, I definitely can give
The
him
It would
one
that.
be
thing
freakier and weird and gross, but it wouldn't be like this connection. The Mint just released a new like DC collection coin deal that is kind of going on right now, if that makes sense. B-Rax, continue.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to throw in there when it came down to like the bondage too, the like what we saw in the absolute universe for that was actual like strategic bondage versus something that feels a little more sexualized that we see in comic books in the past, you know, because when we
Yes.
got our introduction to Zatanna right there, beautiful, excellent. I didn't think it was some kind of like weird, oh, this is some kind of kink thing. No, it
That
looks
bitch
like
is
she's a
crazy.
menace, she's
That bitch is
crazy. Have
crazy.
that mouth sealed up, else you're going to see end of world devastation kind of thing. That's how it looked like, and how
Exactly.
intimidating of a character that she is.
And it's very interesting when
That
you
was
think about it,
my
because like I love what Kelly Thompson is doing, because she's creating such a great status quo for this version of Diana, which I love that she does that. She's very good at establishing a status quo compared to other writers, where it feels like it's next fight after next fight after next fight. Whereas with Kelly, like I remember during her Captain Marvel run, it felt like Carol was able to breathe for the first time, because Carol kept going from, oh, now she's Captain Marvel, now she's in this conflict and this conflict, and now she's with fighting Tony in Civil War, and it's like back to back to back, and it felt like so chaotic. So you had a good time for Carol to breathe, and then it was like, okay, now I'm gonna fight an evil version of myself. They added enough time for her to breathe. Whereas the same thing with Absolute Wonder Woman, it feels like Diana's building something to a great plot line here. It doesn't feel like it's constant nonsense. It's great world building along with the action, because the story she tells while she's fighting this crazy ass monster, that is like, she explains the 4 levels of death you're going to experience. Like, it even harkened back to some elements of Sirens, where it's like you're diving super deep into Greek mythology and drawing on it to make it so powerful. And I'm just like, yo, it makes you want her to just be on the main title. Like, get King out of the publishing house and put Kelly on the main book, and like get more writers like Kelly Thompson who are passionate about creating good women books, because goddamn is she cooking. Because no matter where she goes, she's putting fire on the table, and I'm like, keep it up, keep letting her do her thing. I don't understand why people don't like her writing, because she keeps elevating the palette over and over and over again.
I mean, you can tell that she actually truly like loves the characters. You know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes where I feel like maybe someone I don't truly know how certain writers get put on certain books, but sometimes it feels like they don't actually like that character. and that they're just like trying to string together events, right? They're
Talk
like,
to him,
okay,
Choco.
we'll do that. We'll just make them do this because I need them to be here so that the story I want to tell is set up, you know?
Exactly. And that's why people remember a Gail Simone, people remember a Perez, people remember a Ruka, because it's one of those things where either it speaks to, it's like very amazing storytelling, or there's like elements of representation there. And there's a lot of things of Gail Simone's run that are like, but I think the storytelling is absolutely there. I've been meaning to read Jodi Picoult's run of Wonder Woman. She wrote for her for a little bit, which is iconic to me because I love Miss Jodi, author of My Sister's Keeper. I'm pretty sure. Fact check me immediately if that's not true, but I'm pretty sure. Um, so that would be crazy. And it probably definitely is crazy. I need to read it right after we're done with this. But it's also it's just one of those things where it's
Oh, I remember
representation
this
plus good
run.
storytelling.
This is
Yes,
right around Amazon's Attack.
representation.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it got ignored because Amazon's Attack was like, what?
Yeah.
And I think no one was reading Wonder Woman at that, like, it's, and I totally get, like, I literally did not know this happened or anything of the sort. I was like wow, wow. So like I said, I think what happens is, like Chaka was saying, you feel it when an author is trying to rush through a story. Like you can kind of feel it inherently in your bones. And I think that's where a lot of the complaints of mainline Wonder Woman come from. And I think that's a lot of the complaints of mainline Batman comes a lot of the time, all of the time, since the beginning of history and time, where you feel like so much information is being given to you that it's like, well, comics come out monthly, so I'll catch you guys in like 2 years,
And
and I'll read
yes.
it, and we'll see what's up.
Well, and you bring up a good point because I was talking to my comic shop owner the other day where he was saying you have those staple titles like a Batman, like a Superman, like a Wonder Woman, where you know unless something like horrible happens, those books are going to stay published because those are your Trinity, those are your standards. They're going to get a trade paperback in a few months, so you could
They
come
have
back to
to,
that.
marketing wise, they have
Those
to.
they keep the lights on. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like there's a lot of people who their channels they don't even want to cover them, but they do cover them because that's what people watch, you know, and then they make stuff they like.
And like that's the thing that I keep saying is that like I really wish we had a healthier dynamic with DC where it's like you have just detective, just Batman, just action, just
Thank
Superman,
you.
and then just sensation, just Wonder Woman, where you give her another title where someone can come in and experiment in the main line
Thank you.
because you've had great runs previously. Like I remember when DC Rebirth happened, despite how much I don't like King as a person, the beginning of his Batman run was solid,
Solid.
but then you had Titan over on Detective building other stories with Batman, or like what we had recently, where it was like Tom Taylor on Detective and someone else on Batman. Like those ideas that you could have the ability for other writers to experiment in the main line, or like how you've had over at Marvel, you have Spider Man, or and then you have Spectacular Spider Man, then you have Web of Spider Man, and it's like you could have those dynamics, but structure it in a way where it's just six titles, clean as paper. And I was arguing with someone on my YouTube channel earlier today where he's like, "Oh, Batman's not oversaturated." Da, da, da. Bro, there is literally a Bat title in every week for the rest of
It's
the
not.
year.
It's a joke. It's a joke at every con. Every
Yeah,
Comic Con you go to, it's a joke.
like
There's a reason why
They
it's
just
the
put
longest
Batman.
running Batman.
Yeah.
Well, also they just like toss him onto random teams, just like I don't know, man.
like I
It's just
pointed it
weird.
out in the video that I made today at work, where I was like, there literally is a run of Batman and the Outsiders where it's Katana, Black Lightning, Duke Thomas, and Cassandra Cain, and then Bruce, and it feels like Batman
Like
and the
what? Like what?
like it's literally just Batman and the minorities. Like it literally is just Batman and the minorities, and you're like, what's going on here? Because we
No.
don't need
Yeah.
him in every title.
No,
No,
because the thing with
100%.
King early. The thing with King early in that Batman run, and people don't believe me. Early Astro Caramel lore that's not so it's very out there. I read the I Am Batman, I Am Suicide storyline, and then I got a tramp stamp of the
Nice.
bat logo in Camden, London. I spent like $200
That's
like two, three
badass.
days after because I was so moved by Bruce's letter to Selena. I was genuinely so emotionally I like want to get a line of it tattooed on me. Like it's one of those things that like I struggled so much during that month where I lived over there essentially internshipping and I was like I feel awful, I feel horrible. I just keep going to comic shops and spending money and I finally sat down and read them and it was King's writing that I was like, okay, like girl, you gotta get yourself to the club and stop crying. The whole time I got this tattoo, I kept saying, I am Batman, I am suicide. So whenever I love when people are like, you just don't understand Tom King's writing, you just don't love like it's like, oh no, I understand Tom King's writing. I understand Tom King's writing maybe better than you understand Tom King's writing.
And like that's the thing too is like I was on the same page with him in terms of his grief, in terms of his trauma with Mr. Miracle. I understood what he had went through when he was in the CIA. I understood what he was going through with having a child. You put that all on scot free, and I'm like, I don't necessarily like that you put that all on scot free, but sure, let's go with it. And then he went into Batman, and I was with him all the way until issue 50. And then issue
Thank
50,
you.
he fucked everything up because that's the biggest problem that I have with comic books is that we can't have progression. And it's one thing if you do some goofy ass shit and don't let things progress. It's another thing where you partner with DC's like marketing department and you send wedding cakes to comic shops and then people are getting married at the midnight release of Batman number 50 and then these people opened up the issue only to see that Selena left. And it's like, what have you done, you
What does that
criminal?
say for my marriage? What does that say for my marriage? I actually would lose my goddamn mind in a way that is so improper, so uncouth.
like
I feel like that's one of those Vegas marriages right there to where you just know something ain't good is gonna happen once you leave. It's just one
No,
of those things. The car's gonna break down on the
no.
way out, and it's like, you know what, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
I know some of the girlies, some of the gays during that night probably felt so much anxiety, and it was not because you were marrying someone wonderful.
Well, like, and it was so wild too because there was a time frame around DC Rebirth where DC was doing cool shit like that. Because like,
Exactly.
there was that scene from the DC Rebirth one shot where Barry runs around and gives pizza to all the people who survived the fire building or like the fiery building. So like Jeff Johns and Joshua Williamson and a bunch of people went around and gave pizza out at the midnight release of the book, and there was a cool little gimmick. Now you're literally giving wedding cakes to stores only for it not to be a wedding.
No, that's when marketing goes a little too far, and like it it's one of those things that's like that's why the Trinity books make me so mad, and I haven't even talked about them yet. They're not going to be talked about on TikTok. I'm so sorry for whoever wants it. I need to
We'll unpack that at some
sit
point.
down. I need
We
to sit
will.
down
We
with
will.
them, open my camera, get a tripod up, record, and then post a video, and then there. Those are my thoughts. I like it. Like I need 5 issues out, and I'm gonna read it, and I'm good. Because I was scrolling through the wedding one, and it was so
Rage.
self-indulgent and so, and it's like I get it, you know? Honestly, if I was on the DC payroll and could, I would. But it's
But
also
like
one of those
even
things that
Bendis
like
hasn't stroked his own dick that hard.
no, it's like I see Trinity as a character and I just get like really sad. Like it's not I don't feel rage anymore. Maybe it's because I'm not writing or researching like that anymore. I don't feel rage. I don't feel like I just look at the character and I feel like kind of sick to my stomach. I'm just like, damn, girl, in like 3 years you're gone. genuinely in 3 years you're gone, and it's like one of those things that like people love you, people like all this stuff, you're a cute design, whatever, whatever, but you actually have such a short lifespan, and I'm
I
just
can't
reading
think
a
of a
comic and I
single
see it.
person. I can't.
That's what
I
I
have
was
not met.
gonna say.
I have not met a single person that can look me in the eye and say they enjoy Trinity. I have not met a single person. Like there are more Brazilians that are mad about the character assassination of Yara Flor than there are people
You
that
said it, not me.
like
You
that
said it, not me.
like genuinely. I have not met a single person.
So here's the thing for her is I like the concept. I definitely do. I definitely love the idea
I
of
think
Wonder
it's
Woman
cute.
getting a daughter and everything. I think that would be a really cute thing to do and try to progress the story in some kind of way. And like her first issue, I thought it was adorable when it was the Robin and Superboy babysitting her kind of thing. I thought that was a little cute too, you know, like that part
Right.
right there. But as soon as they started adding a lot of extra Trinity into certain things that I wasn't expecting on seeing, like the Deadpool and Batman crossover that we had, just
Yeah.
like stuff like that. I was like, I get what you are. I understand that you're trying to get into this universe, but like back onto what you were saying, Jay, it almost feels like Disney, or not Disney, DC goes off of this whole thing of like, here's Batman, here's our 3 rooms of Batman, we got everything Batman you could possibly think about, here's a couple Supermans here and there for you, and then everything else is locked in the basement basically for you for the rest of time. And that's how I feel like Trinity's going to be, is you gave me this interesting concept of a character, but your implementation just kind of threw it to the rug just so you guys could say we have another character that's like this one.
Here's the problem with Trinity, and and then I'm gonna let Choco go on it because I feel like Choco's been sitting in the corner very patiently. But my biggest problem with Trinity is it's not like with Morrison, who, despite my hatred of Damian Wayne, I can look you in the eye and say Morrison gave a shit. He did his homework. Actually, they did it like they gave a shit. They did it. They did their homework and injected them perfectly into the universe and cared about them to the point that they are like integral to the future of the DC universe. And it was talked about. Editorial cared. They made sure that multiple different books overlapped and like you made Damian a staple, and they cared. Same thing with John, where you had Dan, I think it was Dan Jurgens for the Lois and Superman book, who like Dan Jurgens cared a lot about Jonathan. And even though I don't like Jonathan, I genuinely can say like that run was so good, and you made him a transition to a great character. And despite how I really feel like Yara Flor was a mistake, and they only used it because everyone loved Gal Gadot when she went to Brazil, so they're like, let's bank on making like Yara Flor a thing, and then like it was such a bad idea. But then you look at Trinity, she's kind of in the same boat as Yara Flor, where we've made 2 really bad Wonder Woman characters, and it's even doubly so worse with Trinity because you can tell both Frank Miller and Tom King don't understand Diana as a character because she's not supposed to have kids. She's supposed to be the governess of the sisterhood. She's
She's
supposed to
she's auntie, bro. That's auntie. That's Titi.
Literally, she's supposed to be the protector of the sisterhood. That's why she has Donna. That's why she has Cassie. That's why she has Artemis. Like, she has this sisterhood where, like, she raises these two. And, like, yeah, there's been some weird shit where they like, made her and Cassie, like, sisters because of Zeus. And that's weird. But, like, that's not something we talk about. Like, in general, she cares about the metaphorical sisterhood. She's meant to be that idea that any woman can be powerful, and that idea that you spit on Marston's memory and go, we're gonna make it to where even Wonder Woman can have a kid. Bro, what about all the women who can't have kids that look up to Diana? That
Yeah.
idea that you're gonna spit on Marston's grave and be like, I don't want to actually let Diana stand on her own 2 feet. Like, I let Frank Miller do his shit because he's weird and he's old and he did it in Master Race. Like, fine, sure, you can play your own sandbox and be weird. But the minute you put it in mainline shit, I made a video when that shit came out, like where they announced that solicitation, and I was livid, bro. Like, my big sister loves Diana to a T, and the minute you told me they tried to give one of my favorite like characters like a kid for no reason, I was livid. So no, Tom King can always catch smoke for me because between Heroes of Crisis, between that wedding, between this nonsense, like man is like hitting back-to-back slugs, and I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, just stop. Like someone needs to take the laptop, take the pens out of his house, like take your one Eisner for Mr. Miracle and go the fuck away to say hello to Rick Grayson on your way out the door. I'm tired of your shit.
Which deserved get your Eisner.
Right, now you have your one Eisner, cool, now get the fuck out. Because the minute you did that shit with Heroes in Crisis, like, you had legitimate fucking, like mental health professionals telling you to shut this shit down, and you said, nah, I'ma keep going. Like, so nah. But Choco, go ahead, I'm done ranting.
No, I didn't jump onto the Trinity books, but kind of for that same reason. It just didn't feel like it was intentional. It felt like a marketing meeting where someone said, "Hey, what if she was a mom?" You know, like it was like I don't know. I'll just read other stuff. So yeah, I didn't follow that one.
What's your thoughts on absolutes? We can wrap that topic up.
Sorry, what?
What's your thoughts on absolutes so we can wrap that topic up?
Well, for the absolute, man, I really have been loving this run, and I love how it's giving us both. I mean, Astro, you mentioned it. It's giving us the magic side. It's mixing both of like the weird occult stuff with like actual grittiness. So like, you know, she does a ritual and she needs to have these people donate their blood and put it on her face. You
Yes.
know? Like, there's just like stuff where you're like, it makes sense. It's got to come from somewhere. But,
right.
You know, like it's real, but it's super fantasy in just a weird way of like, you know, having your dead Pegasus knocking missiles out of the sky so they don't hit the city. It's just weird, but in the best ways possible.
Okay.
Make
So,
Diana weirder.
Yes, and Kelly Thompson, you are always welcome on this show. But keep that in your head. So out of nowhere at the PlayStation Showcase, they finally revealed the first trailer for the Wolverine game we are getting in 2026.
Yo.
And bro, I thought we were never gonna get this. I thought once the leaks happened, we were done. They were gonna shut it down like they did the Spider-Man multiplayer game. I thought we were toast. But then they said, nah, let us cook. And they brought this thing out, and dude is savage. And shout out to Steve Bloom. I love me some Steve Bloom. But I'm glad we got some new blood in here. Like, dude is good at what, like this new guy, he's great. I love the way he sounds as Logan. I'm just like, can I get him to be comic accurately short, please? That's all I ask. Like, can we stop with the Hugh Jackman effect? Make my man a little bit shorter is all I ask.
As somebody who is a short king, please give us a Logan who is a short king. That's all I ask. Like, I love the Deadpool and like Wolverine movie for that 2-second cameo that we got him jumping off the bar stool and he was as tall as I was, and I was like, that's me, that's 5'2" Logan right there, that's me.
No, it's so good. Like, I was surprised. Listen, I'm gonna say one thing. I got a PS5 for a really good deal, and then the trailer dropped maybe 3 days later. I don't want to say it was because of me, but anyone who wants to thank me personally, you can thank me. It's okay. I sped things up. I made the universe run a little faster. It's okay. But I think I knew that they had to do it kind of like deep in my bones after the success of the Deadpool Wolverine. I knew that they had to do it eventually, and I think he looks so sick. I think the suit looks like really clean, honestly. That was like honestly the first thing I noticed. Like I thought the suit was like, oh, okay. And I don't know. I'm really excited to play it, and I'm really excited to kind of I don't know, because it's one of those things that like with the PlayStation you can do kind of whatever with it. So I don't know. I'm excited. I went dark for a second. Let me be light.
So the thing that has me really excited is like I love Insomniac as a studio, and like playing through, you know, the first Spider-Man game specifically, I bawled my eyes out twice during that game. Like the
Oh,
narrative that they
More
wove
than once,
together,
bro.
um, was so good, and how they treated the villains and created this new universe that so we didn't know exactly how it's going to play out, but like as it did. And if they can bring that same amount of care, if we can actually spend time with some real like
I
Wolverine
would
rogues
I would lose my
gallery, like
mind.
I think they can do it, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm like, there's so much depth that they can go into his story
yes.
that most people have never seen before, and yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Also, I wasn't sure how they're going to approach it because, for a lot of these games, a lot of companies are like, oh, well, it's a superhero, so kids are gonna play it, so that we gotta like pull certain things back. But
Hell no.
nah, nah, he's just putting his claws through people's heads.
We
You know what I mean?
going
No,
Like,
and
balls to the
like
and
wall.
I think the Spider-Man one didn't hold back either, really. Like I thought the Spider-Man one, at least like for like what I think of like a kid's game or whatever, like a childish game or whatever, I felt like there was some really heavy emotional moments where I was like, damn, like this is like it was violent, it did all the things that it needed to do, but then I just got actually so emotional thinking about in like a Red Dead style watching like a cutscene of younger Oh,
Bro.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready, and I'm really excited for it. I think because I don't know, like Wolverine got the spotlight that he deserved in the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and I think that with that having such amazing like worldwide, almost like yeah, this is sick. I think they're gonna like okay, no holds barred. Then here you go.
Oh, for sure.
I've always been like an Xbox fan. That's where like my whole growing up's been from. I played Xbox 360. I had like an original console for it in a little bit, and then I have a one that I don't touch anymore now that I play PC. But like as soon as that trailer dropped and you sent that into the Discord, and I was like, okay, let's go check this out. I was like, I I I might have to dip into my savings to go get a PS5 now, cause like, dang,
It's
that
worth
game
it for
looks
Spider-Man, for
so
Wolverine.
good.
It's worth it.
And like I have a buddy who like I'd go over to his place and I watch him play the Spider-Man games and I thought that looked brilliant. Gave me the nostalgia feeling of the old Spider-Man games, but it upped it up to like 25 on just the graphics, on the storytelling, on the villains and everything that you saw in that. So it already has me thinking that this Wolverine's going to be one of like the best video game that's probably going to come out that year. Like that's how I feel about that Wolverine game just from the looks of it. And I'm like, I've got to play it just so I can experience the shift in the zeitgeist we're going to get once it gets released, because
Almost
everybody
definitely.
loves Wolverine now. I guarantee once that game gets released, we're going to see everybody and their mom dressed up as Wolverine at Comic-Con. That's just how it's going to be once the game comes out.
So
New
like,
Fortnite skins.
we're gonna get so much love for his rogues gallery. You know what I mean? We're gonna get so.
yes.
You think we're like we gotta go to Japan in here? We gotta like, oh my god, there's gotta
Yes.
be a lot of stuff
So
to have to
like,
do it.
I have two thoughts. First thought, Insomniac, if you're listening, there's two runs you need to make sure that you read as you're creating this. Cullen Bunn's runs on Wolverine, read his, or just anything involving like his runs on X-Men and Wolverine, read those arcs. But also, um, Jeff Lemire's Old Man Logan. Like, it is one of those things where you sit there and you question how good something can be until it's staring you in the face. Because, like, genuinely, that entire run of Jeff Lemire on Old Man Logan is just him going back through the sins of his past and trying to make amends for what he's done. And one of the best issues of the whole thing is he's going through town and he shows up at a farm. Farm starts getting cut up by a bunch of mercenaries in the middle of a snowstorm, and he has to protect this little girl. And he goes out of his way to protect her, and then at the end of the book, he realizes that the little girl is his future wife from the Old Man Logan one shot. And you're like, oh my lord. And he has to just like not say nothing, let it ride, and know he did a good thing. And when you read the emotion, excuse me, You read the emotion and you read the monologues that Jeff Lemire puts down for this character. It makes me want like an Old Man Logan DLC just of that, where you're like the hard traveling hero paying for his sins. So I'm excited to see what Jeff Lemire like or inspirations or Cullen Bunn inspirations specifically are drawn from this. My other thought, I am tired of these damn weirdo grifters on Twitter, on YouTube videos, worried about how Mystique's ass looks. I'm tired of them talking
Well,
about they're
no
saying
doubt, yeah.
Sweet Baby Ink has their claws in this game and yada yada this and oh one of the graphic artists worked on Concord and this that and the third and then as we were starting to record the show I saw a meme on Twitter that was the X-Men Origins Wolverine video game. It said Wolverine on above it, and then it showed a screenshot from the Wolverine trailer. It said Soyverine over it. And like, I can't for the life of me understand what is wrong with these weirdo dudes who are so obsessed with thinking every piece of media is emasculating you. Like, you know you could talk to somebody about your kinks, bro. Like, something needs to be done. You don't need to project on everything. Let shit
No,
exist.
not on Logan. At Logan, like James Howlett, like of all people. Like you can, like okay, but you're gonna open up a comic book and be like,
Well, like what
uh-oh.
bothers me too is that like I remember when like I'm about to defend Tom King. This is crazy. I remember when the lead up issues were starting towards towards issue 50 of his Batman run, and we were getting the whole Booster Gold gift and shit like that, and we're getting ready for like all the wedding issues. Everyone was calling Bruce Wayne a soy boy for caring about emotions and getting married, and I'm like. Where the fuck have you
No.
been for the past like
Yeah.
80 years of comics, bro? Like, mans have been through so much shit. Let him be happy for 5 minutes. Like, this obsession with thinking that everything in media is emasculating comics is getting weird. Like, I remember during the 90s when Magneto ripped out Logan's spine and Electra of all people had to teach Logan how to be a human again because he went and turned into a feral little dog. And like that was emotion, that was intense. So like to say, oh, you think Wolverine's a soy boy now, motherfucker? He was a dog, like he was a literal pet that Electra had to retrain. So I need y'all to calm the hell down and go read some '90s comics if you think shit wasn't political back in the day. Damn it.
One thing that frustrates.
Listen,
Go ahead.
there's I don't know how else to say it, but there's just something wrong with men now, and and we just need I don't know. There just needs to be more therapy, and like that would
Yes.
fix so many problems. Right now, in people were complaining that in the new game Silent Hill F, you couldn't look up the main character's skirt.
The
Who is,
hell?
by the way, like a
Wasn't
Yep,
she a
yep.
kid?
girl.
She's 14
Yeah.
years old in the video game.
And they're
Ew.
mad. They're mad that when you try, it's like black.
It's
under-
blacked
like, you
out. It
can't see
literally,
anything.
it's like a giant shadow that's up there in the crotch area, which how it should be. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Marvel Rivals. You got your thickness on there, but there's the thing about Marvel Rivals. It's equal opportunity there. You're going to have your Punisher as much as you're going to have your Cloak and Dagger skins in there.
Yeah.
Once you come over to this whole, like, video game aspect that they're talking about, especially with Mystique, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I get it. I understand. I like the blue too. I loved Mystique in the previous movies, but all of y'all are taking a screenshot from a video game for one. So like, I guarantee anybody who's working on that game is going to give you the joy and the jiggle physics that all of y'all are going to want. But at the same time though, our mental stability here is, guys, go touch grass, go walk your dog, go play golf, go play basketball, go to the gym and do something as well, because like, this is too much at the end of the day. I'm sick and tired of having to get on the internet and be like, I hate aligning myself with straight men because all of y'all make me look like I'm the worst person in the world, and I have to get my girlfriend over here to come be like, no, this is one of the good ones. This is one of the good guys. Like, all of y'all are making it harder for all of the single men out there who are good guys. Like, calm down and get off the internet and touch grass, please. Just for like 1 week.
Brother, I'm pansexual, and even I can say that the men in this country need to either pay for something to be done or go be respectful and get something done. Because, like, I even kind of made a comment about when I made the video about the Wolverine trailer and them talking about shit. Like, they want every game to be Stellar Blade. They want every game to just be, can I
It's
goon?
not good.
If I can't goon, there's a problem. And it's like, what happened to the days when we could just enjoy shit? What happened to the days when like things can just be what they are? Like I remember when South of Midnight was coming out and freaking King of Not Taking Baths Asmongold came out and was like, why isn't this like 15-year-old black girl hotter? I'm like, the hell? What? And it's just I don't know, man. It just
The misogyny is crazy. They literally can't value the existence of a woman if they can't goon.
No, like
And
you're devaluing my nerd community.
it's like if they can't goon,
yeah,
it's a problem, and I don't understand why.
No, and it's one of those things that it's like you go to the comic shop and stuff like that, and like that's not how we're chilling most of the time. Like that's not like, and it's one of those things that like when everyone says touch grass, it's like, yeah, you kind like if you have the privilege and like the opportunity to like check out local game shops, check out like even like hang out in like a GameStop if things get real rough. It's one of those things that's like, especially in a culture like this where everything is so fast paced that like at this point everybody is like a geek in their own way. Everybody. So you're gonna find commonality regardless, and then you can take it to your Discord DMs. You know?
Yeah,
That's how I thought we were operating, but I guess not. I don't know.
apparently
I
not.
think that's how it should be. It should be in the DMs and in the home. That's where it should be.
Exactly.
also, if you can't goon to it, you're not trying hard enough.
Hey,
Apparently,
amen on
Get,
that.
commit.
Amen
Apparently.
on
Get some
that.
commitment.
No, like let's get imagination back. Like it really like it's one of those things that's like if it's
What
not
happened to the
hand
fan artist,
fed to
man? Get back
you,
to being fan
thank
artist if you want
you.
to goon that hard.
If it's not hand fed to you, it's like, oh, I don't want it. And it's like, first of all, an artist that is early in their career will make you anything you need to see. And you know this, and I know this.
It's wild.
And on Twitter especially, because Twitter is one of those things that it's like it's so easy to make money from the platform now that it's like, well, I'm just
Yes.
gonna say this. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but then like some kid who already like doesn't like the world and is really mean to his sister is gonna read that and be like, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
you're not kidding, bro. Like the male
Also,
loneliness epidemic is a problem.
I swear to God, these are the same people who hate anyone if they're like an OnlyFans model, and you're like, but you, how do you not?
You
It's
just
Exactly.
want it to be free.
You just
You
want
just
to be
want it to
free.
be
If
free.
you can't go for
no,
free, it's a problem.
it's not even that. It's control. They don't want her to have
Exactly.
control over her own stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. It's just weird.
Hell
But
of
God
a
yeah,
forbid you
we
hell
move
of a
on.
sign
We move
you
on.
God forbid you sign up and it's like soft or whatever. Like God forbid it's like you're gonna like be like, I just unsubscribed from the OnlyFans. I realize that you do not have the hardcore stuff that I was looking for.
crazy,
And
bro.
it's oh, oh wow. Oh wow. Because at the end of the day, like I love like the tasteful, the soft, like all that. I think like I collect like old Playboy magazines to collage. Like I think it's fun. I think it's all that, but it's like you can find that anywhere and stuff like
Uh,
that. As much as you can find your hardcore stuff anywhere. So it's like to get mad at like my queen for like her tasteful, cute, like little aesthetic kind of photo shoot she's having outside. Like, oh, weather's so good. And be like, I'm unsubscribing because this is like, what are you like? What are you
dudes are
talking
weird.
about?
The dudes be weird. So
That's
Dudes
what's been
are the
pissing me off
craziest thing in the
recently.
world.
if you can't goon, it's a problem. That's the problem. Is this? So moving on from that, one of the final topics of the evening, Peacemaker's on some shit. Like
Yo,
man,
Man,
like as a fully black and brown hosted show, I didn't expect James Gunn to go down that road. Like I saw a
Good
couple
for
video,
him. Good for him.
I saw a couple videos where there was some speculation it was Earth X, but I was like, nah, he ain't gonna do that. It's too early for that. Nope, he did it, and I'm like, damn, that's some crazy ish, homie. That's
I
some
just got to
crazy.
give a shout out to James Gunn for how much of an ally that he is, not just for the black community, but for every community that's
Hmm.
out there. Because even like the joke character that he put in there for the indigenous community that was like this whitewashed dude that was coming in acting like he knew everything in the concept about like indigenous culture and stuff like that, he was still able to show like, no, this dude's a joke. This dude is not the actual representation of stuff. This isn't the actual thing that should be going on that you should be looking for. He is a throwaway character in this TV show for you guys to just laugh at and have a good time.
Yeah,
I just really appreciate that he wants to make the DC universe very inaccessible to bigots. He wants you to
yes,
feel uncomfortable if you are a white supremacist. And the way we ended, with episode 6, and it's been really interesting watching like my mutuals and stuff and how they've reacted to it, because I instantly was like, where the where the black people? Like, where's okay, you know what I mean? Like, I instantly noticed that there wasn't
yeah,
any. But like the way that they have this as a commentary. I mean, the name of the episode is "Ignorance is Chris," right?
yes,
He this is the full like explanation of someone who's like, I don't see color. Like, literally, he doesn't see color. Like, he just didn't notice. And you're like, that's a problem. Like, you have to look. It's not enough to not to claim to not see color. You have to appreciate the vibrance.
yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, we'll probably like restructure this and maybe do like a paid thing where we talk about Peacemaker later on. But I wanted to talk about this episode specifically because the idea that James Gunn isn't afraid to talk about this stuff, and I love the candid way he's going about things. Because you had the commentary in Superman, you had that really good commentary where even at the premieres, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing me, fam. Like you ain't down with it, you ain't down with it. And like even Sean Gunn will try to talk shit, kind of let it slip. He's like, nah, don't say that. Let it ride. Even here, you have these like literally one of my favorite Twitter accounts right now is CBM Cringe, which is comic book media cringe. Like
Yes.
he just keeps posting all these idiots, all these like grifters who are saying dumb shit. One of the ones he posted was just days after Charlie Kirk, DC and WB released a trailer for Peacemaker featuring a sniper. Now they are promoting the show by implying America is literally Hitler. These people will never learn. They should be ashamed. First of all,
True.
if you are
So true.
offended by the narrative of the show, A, you never read a comic book before, you don't know about Earth X. B, you didn't even watch the Flash crossovers, so you can't even talk shit about that because they have the Earth X and that. C, this is like this shit was filmed months in advance. Like they had no idea what was going to happen in this country. They had no idea that there was going to be 4 mass shootings this past weekend. Like they had no idea. So like the amount of things that's
I
happened.
mean, we all had some idea.
Well, yeah, that's how numb we are at this point to like what's going on in our country and that stuff's going on. But like to say that you don't understand what's going on in this show and then you're so tone deaf to what is being told to you about this is such a perfect representation of what James Gunn's trying to show you in this episode. Where straight up Chris is like, I thought this was great. I'm over here with my white privilege having a good time, and then you have old girl being like, oh, another one got out, and it's like, whoa,
Got
wait a
out.
minute, yo, I just
No, yeah, and I was saying to my boyfriend recently, like about like James Gunn and stuff like that, and like, because he asked me about Miss Rabbit's little costume design. Um, he asked me, and he was like, "What do you think about it?" And I was like, I think James Gunn takes cheap shots at like women sometimes, like in his comedy, just because it appeals to like a large mass. But it's one of those things that like I kind of don't, maybe I've just been researching too much. But it's one of those things that I really don't get offended by anymore. Like I can roll my eyes at it and be like, okay, whatever. But and especially like when it comes to like the first episode of Peacemaker and like the way it's set up and stuff like that, and a lot of people being like, "Oh, we're not going to see like Adebayo's wife and stuff like that," and I was like, I immediately knew when I was that was like, "Oh, guys, like there's a reason, like there's a reason like this character that was so prominently to be like shown and a big part of this woman's life, like just being like, oh, she's in Gotham." It's like okay, like there's a reason they're focusing on this main cast. Like I never once thought of it as like, oh, they're like putting queer women to the side, they're doing all this. Like I immediately recognized it as like, oh shit, like that's how I know things are going to get progressively more fucked up in this season. Because Adebayo's Miss Adebayo's wife is not there. Like these like not, loved ones are not there. It's like a purely contained like the organic crew from season
Mm-hmm.
one, and that's what you start off with. So I have not caught up. I need to soon, but even from just seeing episode one, I was like, oh yeah, like something is awful is going to happen. They do all these things of like, you're my best friend, Chris. Like, I love you, Chris. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's going to be so tested in a way that's going to make every viewer uncomfortable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's see how far that title of best friend really goes.
So we'll definitely have to see how the show progresses. I feel like at the end of the season, having a good wrap up about it will definitely be a fun time. But we wanted to talk about this, and because like news was a little light, we didn't have a ton of stuff going on. But B, this was just like holy crap! Like didn't expect him to go there, and it was really good. So while
I
I have
also
yeah, go ahead.
so I also just wanted to call out just another thing in the episode is when Vigilante goes into his home and he's
Mm.
walking through laughing at all the differences and he sees his dad is there and he's like, oh, at this universe my dad's not gay, and then he like laughs and like keeps moving, and then now you're like, nah, he is, he just can't.
He's probably in a lavender
this
baron
earth
because yeah.
this is Earth X,
He's
No,
just
like
definitely
just like
probably running on the
sad stuff.
DL.
yeah,
Like it's a rough
just let
time
that
out
be.
here. So it definitely raises more things that'll be great to like, analyze later on in a separate episode. But nah, to move on into tomorrow's like comics for the week. There's two big bangers for me that I wanted to highlight. First of all, um, Absolute Evil's coming out. This is like the culmination of a lot of the different Absolute stories. We're going to be having a lot of the villains converge, but also we're getting the reveal slash like arrival of Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Deathstroke, who is Jeffrey Bezos. All right, go off, King. Let's go. Let's talk about it. So that'll be fun to talk about next week on the show. But also, this is a specific call out. Please, like obviously pre-orders and FOC have already finished. But if you are someone who is passionate about black characters and you want to read a really good, like contained young adult graphic novel, Nubia 2 Real comes out tomorrow. The first one, Nubia Real one, was so good. LL McKinney, I interviewed her back in the day when the first one came out. And I'm so happy to see that she's getting to do this sequel finally because she was able to write the Nubia story for Future State. She was able to write the first Nubia book, and it was so good. I'm so hyped to read this because it was so good back then. I can't wait that finally that DC let her cook and make this happen. But just every time she gets to write a comic, I love what she does. There was a spin-off book for Power Rangers she got to write. She got to write an Astronema origin story over at Boom a couple of years ago. And you can tell she is a Ranger fan through and through. And she cooked. So like when you put Elle in a room and let her cook, like even her young adult novels are amazing. Like definitely go check out her work. Like she is amazing, and I'm hyped to read this tomorrow. I already pre-ordered it; it's gonna be at my shop tomorrow. Like we will definitely be talking about. I'm trying to reach out to her, see if I can have her back on the show, because like for DC to let her tell this story and continue with it, especially because like once like Future State kind of teetered out, they stopped really highlighting Nubia as the Queen of the Amazons. They kind of like put it to the side, and I was a little disappointed about that. But like now they're allowing her to finish the next chapter of the story, so definitely hyped about that. B-Rax, what are you hyped for next week?
Honestly, the big one for me is Green Lantern, because that one has been kind of a like slow build cook kind of read, and I don't think it's going to be this next issue, but at the issue after that, I have a big feeling they're going to drop
Like Hal
something
Jordan Green
big
Lantern
on
or
us.
Absolute Green Lantern?
Absolute Green Lantern.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's my bad. I stay away from mainline stuff now just because I've gotten so much of it now. It's just like I need something different. I need something a little bit more that cooks off the side a little bit. Like there's progression in this at least versus what I get versus the mainline, you know? I can at least see something moving forward right now.
Also, fuck Hal Jordan, but like that's just me.
That's fair.
Bro,
I need some John Stewart again.
Bro, I could write a thesis on Jeff Johns' like ruining the DC universe by bringing back Barry Allen and Hal Jordan. Like genuinely, that was the couple years where you saw the DC universe become stagnant, and we've never recovered. Like to this day, we have never recovered.
I agree, 100%.
Choco, what you hyped for next week?
Well, I've always been a massive Green Lantern fan ever since the Robert Von Diddy run, like way back in the day. But Spider-Man Noir. Is that next week? It's coming out soon.
I believe that is this next
week. I think that is this week, yeah.
And you know, I really liked the all new Ghost Spider, and so I'm just gonna keep rolling on with that and be like, okay, let's see what our other like new Spider-Man titles are coming out for our different heroes, and see what goes on with that.
Astro, what you excited for?
You already said it. I could cry with the new Nubia. I honestly think the way she's been written recently has just been so. It's such a breath of fresh air. I love going to depth in her stories and stuff like that, and I'm so excited. I have not even like gotten and tacked all my pre-orders and stuff like that, so I've just been walking in early. So I'm very excited to wake up early and have a little conversation with my comic book shop guy as he opens the store and I follow. So I will get my haul. I'll get my haul regardless.
Yeah. Also, another one to highlight is Captain Planet, the Planeteers. We will be having the writer of Captain Planet as well as Space Ghost, and he's also writing Racer X for Mad Cave too. We will be having David Prepos on the show soon, so definitely get hyped out for that. Like the fact that we've only had one episode, about to be two, and we already have two people lined up. Which this is official. It is coming out next week in conjunction with next week's episode. So, like, the minute I finish the interview, I'll be recording the episode 3 with y'all. I will be interviewing the writer of Mr. Terrific Year 1 for the show.
Yes,
like Al Jensen. That's gonna be a great time. So definitely get hyped for that. It was so crazy too because I made a TikTok trying to hype up the book, and then Al Letson was in my freaking comments, like hyped. And then I was like, can I interview you? And he was like, bet. I'm like, so definitely get hyped. The fact that we're only 2 issues deep and we're having guests has me super excited for the future. So, like, if you're an indie writer, if you are someone who is passionate about comics, like our emails are in the description. We have contact at comicsunmasked.com. Please reach out to us. If you are a publisher and want us to review something on the show, press at comicsunmasked.com is available for you. We would love to talk about your stuff and help pimp it out, especially because we want to make sure that people know about stuff. And that is the one thing that I want to talk about, like as we wrap up, is that people, I see the petition to get Green Arrow back as an ongoing series. Here's the thing. I love the passion. I love the energy that I see in the community. But as I said in my video today talking about the Batman oversaturation, DC and Marvel do not give a damn about you making a petition about a book. They care about dollar signs. You need to go pre-order the trade. You need to go pre-order these final issues. It has 2 more issues that are available for FOC for November and December if you really care about Green Arrow. If you're excited for the new Static and Beyond Batman Beyond title, go pre-order it. The FOC wraps up soon for issue 1. Like, if you care about these titles, you need to go pre-order them at your comic shop. No comic shop.
Join Discords. Join
Yes.
Discords.
Like,
They
no.
have lists. They have everything. Like, they will organize it for you.
Exactly.
Jay wants to rant so bad.
I'm just trying to educate folks. It's fine. Like that's the biggest thing is like, no, I literally was at Hall of City Comic Con over the weekend and I asked several different comic book store owners that were there. They all said, no, we will not make you pay up front for these books. It is our financial risk. We want you to come in and pre-order. We want you to come in and say, you want this book, and this book. Perfect example. T'Challa Black Panther has no ongoing book going into the new year. He has a one-shot tie-in to Imperial coming in December, and that's it. But everyone wants to say they love Black Panther this, they love Black Panther that. Black Panther doesn't have an ongoing book at Marvel starting in January. So, if you care about comics, go pre-order. Because if you don't pre-order, how are they going to know about it? So,
And it can be so easy and streamlined and simple, and you don't have to. Even if you don't want, I don't want to talk to anybody. I used to like just get them shipped to my door, and I'm like, yippee, yay! My comic shop, amazing. They wrap them very nicely for me. So just find a distributor that you really love and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, even if it takes a little slow, everyone tries to be on their P's and Q's in this industry because say what you will about books, say what you will about manga, comics release weekly.
Hell,
One
perfect
thing I'd
example.
like to add.
B-Rax found out about League of Comic Book Geeks this week. He found out about a great tool.
That has been the best thing that I've ever had in my entire life, because what I've been doing is I've been going to that website, the same website that you told me about, and I've just been like, all right, looking things up, and then I throw them into my calendar for the month, and I do that like at the beginning of every month. Trust me, this will save you so much time and effort, nights of staying up until 3 a.m. to find that one comic book that you're like, when is it going to come out next month? What day is it going to be, you know? And then secondly, on the comic book stores and everything, my comic book shop, they will front me comic books because I've been going there so often. Like, your comic book shops will work with you at the end of the day to where you're like, hey, I might be short $5.99 this week. They'll be like, oh, throw it on your tab next week. We've got you. Make friends with your comic book community because it will make enjoying this stuff and being able to research this stuff and just talk to anybody about it 20 times better once you step into a shop.
Yeah. Choco, anything to add before we wrap up?
I mean, just like you said, become part of the community. Whether that is your local shop or if you're on TikTok, if you're on whatever, just talk about it. Talk about the stuff you love. Talk to the people who love the things that you love. Get things going, and yeah, definitely get your pre-orders up.
Most definitely.
That was my thing. Is I didn't fully realize that, and so now I'm all set up and. I mean, all my pre-orders are black, but
exactly, bro. That is my problem. Is that almost every pre-order I have is black. Like occasionally, if I enjoy the run, I'll collect Teen Titans or something like that. But like everything else that I buy is black, unless it's like an indie title. Like genuinely, because I'm that guy.
Listen, I mean, it's not even a hot take, but like. They're not going to run out of Batman. You know what I mean? Like I can grab that.
Yes.
I don't need to pre-order that.
Like
they're
it's
going
nice
to send.
It's nice and shiny and it entices you. I know. I have a tramp stamp. I know, but like, I promise you'll come next week and it'll still be there.
Pretty much, it has enough variant covers.
I still got Deadpool and Batman comic books that are sitting on the shelf at my comic book shop.
Yeah.
I guarantee they are never going to have a lackluster of Batman. But I know I have to go in and pre-order Mr. Terrific because I missed the last 5th issue because it wasn't on the shelf at my shop.
Bro, this is I'm gonna end on this. Genuinely, Mr. Terrific struggled so hard to when it first launched that the 1 in 25 cover, like that was drawn by Dennis Cowan, one of the founders of Milestone, it is so hard for me to find. I have been trying to track down this cover for weeks, because so many shops didn't see enough pre-orders for Mr. Terrific #1 because it's a 1 in 25. You have to buy 25 copies to get the one variant. That's how incentive covers work. So many shops didn't pre-order Mr. Terrific #1, so they didn't get this cover. And now I'm about to have to pay like 30, 40, 50 bucks on the aftermarket just to get this book. And I'm pissed. I was walking around Hall of Fame City Comic Con the weekend trying to find the book. Nobody had it. I'm mad. So, like, definitely go pre-order the books that you care about, because otherwise, how are Marvel and DC going to know if you care about it? Thank y'all so much for being here. We will catch you next week. Peace out.